He's tried to recruit more athletic guys, longer guys, guys that can do play in space. And you look at some of these corners they've had some big time corners, come out of there. And this is a really good secondary that we're getting ready to play. And I'm very impressed, with their back seven guys, and then the guys up front. They don't have quite the depth because they got some young guys as a part of their depth, but their first 5 or 6 guys, really, really good players.
You feel like these are maybe two of the top defensive coordinators in the country with what Venables and what Foster have been able to do?
Well, I mean, I think their background speaks for itself. I mean, they're certainly two of the best, if not the best. I think consistency is what you look for. And, to be great at something, you got to do it for a long period of time and be very consistent. And Brent is the epitome of that, and so is Bud. Two outstanding coaches.
How do you come out, especially against a Bud Foster defense, and be the offense that showed up in the fourth quarter last week, or that was there for the Louisville game, as opposed to the offense that was held to 7 points for much of the BC game?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing we got to do is we've got to run our offense within the scope of what the defense is allowing. We've got to be good decision makers, and it starts with our quarterback. He kind of makes us go, that's for sure. We got to win the matchups up front. We got to get them identified. This is a different scheme than what we saw last week. So they've got some exotic type of different stuff where you've got to do a good job of identifying these guys. Sometimes they'll drop and play coverage from a certain look, and sometimes from that same look, here they're coming. And they'll give you anything from cover 3 to robber to cover 0. And you have to be able to identify that and play fast, play with tempo, take care of the ball. That hurt us last week, had a couple of turnovers, and, wasn't able to finish on a couple of those drives because of it. So you got to take advantage of your opportunities against a defense like this. And you go back and look at it last year, we played pretty good most of the stretch of the game. But they did a heck of a job, toward the end. They made some adjustments, and then we had a turnover and had a big special teams play. They busted a big play on our defense. Next thing you know, you're fighting for your life. So just taking advantage of opportunities when they present themselves, you got to make it count, because he don't give you a whole lot.
Traditionally, many teams play with 5 offensive linemen. Y'all are different. You're rotating. Last time I checked, I think you had 8 with 98 snaps or more. How do you do that?
Just play them. Just put them in there. I mean, we got good players, and they deserve to play. I mean, we got a bunch of guys that could go and start for us. I wouldn't even hesitate. Ankrum and Pollard have both started. They're both starters in my mind, and they both deserve to play. So they're going to get their opportunities to play. They work hard in practice. They're committed guys. Taylor Hearn's played great at guard, but John Simpson he's a great player. He probably had his best game this past week. He played 30-something snaps, I believe. So, that's just what we do. Taylor Hearn jumps out there and plays some tackle, and he's a very good tackle. So, we've got good depth and good. That's one of the things I said in the preseason. I think we're going to have more depth, flexibility, and versatility in our offensive line than we've ever had. So I'm really, really pleased with that group. But we just play them. I mean, we believe in them. So it's not like we're just waiting to play a guy when we got a lead. We play them critical situations, and you've seen that with a lot of positions on this team this year. That's one of the things that I think we're blessed with, is we got a bunch of functional guys that can go play. So that we trust.
Coach, yesterday, Coach Fuente likened your offense to trying to defuse a bomb. One wrong snip of the wire and boom, your hands get blown off. I'm curious your thoughts on that analogy, and how would you describe Virginia Tech's offense?
That sounds just like Justin. I think that we're a good team. I mean, he's a coach, and he's getting ready to play a good team, just like I'm a coach and I'm getting ready to play a great team. We're two teams that are still undefeated, and two teams that pride themselves on trying to play well. And so same thing for us. If we're with all, especially with their offense, they got guys going everywhere. And if you don't have your eyes on the right thing, if you're peeking in the backfield and you're distracted by all the stuff that's going on, there goes that tight end on the swap boot right behind you, and you're running up, on a run fake, and it's a big play. So, it's the same. I'd say it's the exact same. We've got to do a great job, and you got to be right where you need to be. Your eyes have to be where they need to be. Your alignment has to be where it needs to be, and then same thing on the offensive side. We've got to all be on the same page, because just as soon as you don't, your quarterback's hit. You've got a turnover, and so it's a really good matchup.
Even though Evans and Ford and Hodges are gone, can you guys still use that last year's ACC title game as kind of a roadmap for how to defend Justin's style of offense?
Well, it's a different team for sure. Both teams were different. There's no question about that. But they still do a lot of the same things. We still do a lot of the same things. You got to be able to stop it. I think anytime you play people, you have a little bit of familiarity with personnel and things like that. But it's still a different team, both ways, and it's really all about this game.
Coach, with Alex, is his range on field goals pretty close to Hugel's? I know he made a 51-yarder in August, but I imagine you wouldn't want to put him in there for a long field goal early in the game on the road in a place like that.
Yeah, he's made. I think the longest he's made in practice is maybe 53, but he's got plenty of leg to do what we need to do, and. But that's about, depending on what we needed and where we are in the point of the game. But that's probably his limit there.
Debo, were you a little surprised the other day? You guys struggled a little bit on offense. That you had some groans coming out of the crowd the other day. Did that surprise you a little bit?
No, I said they booing us, boys. They booing us. It's used to seeing explosiveness and things like that, but it just wasn't that type of day. And again, field position, and it just comes with the territory. It really does. But I'm never going to apologize for a win, and I'm never going to allow our players to not appreciate a win. Now, if the fans don't appreciate it, then that's their decision. But I know this from the guys in that locker room: we're going to always appreciate how hard it is to win. And 3-2, 69, 68, they all count the same. You move on to the next one, and you try to get better each and every week. And, other teams have good players, good coaches, full scholarships, pride, off-season programs. There's a lot that goes into it. But I loved that game Saturday. I loved it. I really did. And what happened in the fourth quarter was a result of the first three quarters. It was awesome to be able to win a game like that. I'll take it every week. But if we ain't happy about a 14-7 win or a 34-7 win, and we might need to rethink things. But I have a great appreciation for how hard it is to win. And that's why we celebrate every win, every single win. There's no style points. We just try to find ways to win games each and every week. And, most of the time we have. And if we don't, you know what? We know we got to get better. And let's go find a way to get back on track.
How important was it for Kelly in his maturation to face an opponent that maybe did some things that weren't showing up on film and covered and take some things away?
Yep.
You have to adjust to that.
Yeah, it was good because we were able to coach him on some things. He didn't manage the pocket very well at all. They're playing all this coverage, and so now all of a sudden, he's dropping and it's hitch. He's holding the ball. But because now it's a whole different deal, and so great opportunity to coach him. Because there were some different looks. And then to see him get, he's a little frustrated because you want certain things, but it's just not there. And now you kind of get out of your rhythm a little bit. And to see him kind of manage that and bounce back, it's great, man. You got to go through stuff like that. That's just how you get better. You got to grow. You got to and I thought he did a great job. A really great job. And I thought our coaches did a great job, as far as okay, well, it's just the way it's going to be. and taking what was there, and then we made just enough big plays when the opportunities presented themselves to do what we needed to do. But it was a good game for him from a teaching standpoint. It really was an opportunity to coach him on some things that we really hadn't had a chance to do just yet, because every game presents different challenges, and I thought he responded really, really well.
Is the challenge different this week with a guy who's got a proven track record? You kind of know basically what he's going to do, that maybe you feel more confident preparing him before the game starts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always, I mean, you can prepare. I mean, he ended up playing us a little different in the championship game last year. He didn't play near as much robber coverage as we thought he might. You know, you just got to make the adjustments as you get into the flow of the game. But, you know, that's football. Sometimes you got video evidence and you go with what you've seen, and that's how you prepare, and you study what they've done to other people that do what you do, and you try to come up with a game plan, and you get into the games, and sometimes it's a little different. You gotta make adjustments, and we've got a system that has answers. You know, we just gotta process it the right way and trust it.
His team's inexperience at the beginning of the year. You had Kent State, but then this looks to be a 4th straight week of a fist fight. Is that good for this team? And, you know, how will it help you at the end of the year when you have that championship in November?
Well, I think in this league, we just know we're going to play good people every single week. Every single week, we're going to play good folks. And so, and the biggest thing is every day at practice. You know, today, Tuesday practice is going to be a tough practice. We're going good on good inside.